Hi everybody, great to be here with you today. I'm Mr. D from Classroom Kitchen, and today we've teamed up with White Rose Maths to bring you a cooking class maths challenge. Okay, for you to have a go at home with your families and to enjoy this one, because maths will have never tasted better. Okay, so you can have a little watch of the video and you will see very quickly how maths is everywhere in everything we do, especially in cooking and especially in baking. You'll see that very quickly through what we do. Now, if you are cooking along at home today, okay, you're there with your adults, you're watching along. If you want to comment, if you want to tell us what you think, if you want to send us your photos of anything you make, you can send them to the hashtag MathsEveryOneCanAtHome. So that's the hashtag MathsEveryOneCanAtHome. Now, we'll make a good start today. We've got quite a few ingredients out on the table. You may not be able to see them all. We've got some flour, we have got some sugar, eggs, we've got some baking powder, some cinnamon. Now, watch my lesson, okay, watch the show, and you'll very quickly see how much of those you need. Carrots and bananas and a little bit of olive oil. Okay, so there are our main ingredients that you need for today's episode, for today's show. We've got a bit of equipment too. Watch the show, watch the episode as we go along. You can find the recipe online and you can join in however you wish. So these are really good ones. So we're going to start off today with the carrots, okay? Because we're going to make a Cluedo carrot cake. It's going to come out looking like this right here. Okay, so it's really tasty, nice slab, nice and flat, square shaped, okay, and I'll show you why, because we're going to turn our carrot cake into a bit of a puzzle for people to be challenged at home, so it's a really exciting one. So remember, hashtag MathsEveryOneCanAtHome, send them into there, any comments, any ideas, any photos of what you do. Starting off with a carrot today for our carrot cake, what we're going to do is we're going to peel it. We're going to do this one by putting our hand at the top. That's keeping our fingers away from the peeler, because we're going to peel from halfway down the carrot first. We're then going to peel the bottom half of the carrot, turn it over, peel the top half of the carrot. The top half that then becomes the bottom half because it's upside down. So you're going to peel to both parts, okay, one at a time, keeping your fingers away by keeping your hand on the top. So hand on the top, peel down from the middle. It's really easy to do. Get a good peeler at home, nice and simple. You can join in with this anytime. You can help your adults at home, okay, when they make a nice roast dinner at the weekend, something like that, a nice dish. So peel away there, really simple. The best thing about cooking is that all these skills, they go into other stuff, you know, you can use them in other recipes that you make all the time. Really simple stuff. So we've peeled one carrot. All I'm going to do is I'm going to grate the carrot. So I'm going to take the end off it. You only need about one carrot today, okay? You don't need 2 or 3. One large carrot will do it. Chop the end off. I'm using a claw method there where I've tucked my fingernails in so they're out of the way. They're down on top of the carrot and the knife comes in front there. Chop the other end off. You can leave the other end on, to be honest, because then that gives you somewhere extra to hold. Using a grater, like you would do with your cheese grater, hand firmly on top. Carrot, we're going to grate down just like this. And we're going to grate the whole carrot, okay, so we can take our time. We don't need to go really quick. We want to be nice and safe. We can take our time grating it. Grating straight down like this one. I love making carrot cakes. See, the beauty of this carrot cake, it's super healthy, okay? Unlike other cakes, it's not got loads of sugar in it, it's not got loads of fat in it. So it's a much healthier cake to make. You've got your healthy extras in there, you've got your carrot, you know, get some banana in there too. And all round, it's a really nice family favourite. Really nice with a nice cup of tea, okay, that you can sit down and you can enjoy at home. So let's grate that up. Lots of carrot there. That's brilliant. Now we're going to save that for in a moment. Okay, we're going to save that for in a little bit. I'm actually going to move this chopping board just to one side so it's out of my way so I can move on to the next thing. So I'll keep my carrot there and out of the way. Right, we're going to weigh in a few ingredients. Okay, we're going to start in the mixing bowl. One thing I'm going to do before I start putting in flour and sugar and things like that, I'm going to put in some banana. I'm going to use 2 bananas today. So 2 medium-sized bananas. And all I'm going to do with those, peel them and I'm going to mash them up. Alright, so this is everyone's favourite part. So we can peel it and then we can mash it up. Now, whenever you're doing any cooking at home, you can see where there's maths in everything. Okay, so with this banana, for example, we're not doing much, but we can look at the fractions of it. So we've got a whole one, break it into 2 equal parts, we've got 2 halves, break it again, both pieces again, you're going to get 4 equal parts, you're going to get quarters. And maths is everywhere, okay? So break those in half when you put them in, just so they're a bit smaller to mash up. Now, when you're mashing, you can do it but you can use a fork to do so, to mash it. So you put your banana in the bowl, you can use a fork. I'm actually going to use a masher, and this is so much easier for everyone at home. So it's so much easier when younger children are cooking too, so if younger brothers and sisters want to join in, all the family can join in. If you've got a masher, it's brilliant. If you haven't, use a fork. And you just want to make sure your bananas are nice and soft already. Okay, so they're nice and ripe. So let's get those mashing up, nice and easy. Use our strength to mash through it. Make sure we're turning it in the tub, in the bowl, so we're mixing it round as we go. Because what we want to do, you can see it all collects on the top of the masher there. Let's just get that off. Keep mashing it up, really easy to do. Get that off of there, keep mashing it up. This is, I can smell the banana already, and I've made this a few times before. I'm already getting flashbacks to the last time I made it, how delicious it was to eat. So we've got this in there, we've got our banana in there. Right, we're going to start weighing in now. So weighing, measures, everything like that, again, into our maths element. Well, what we're going to do, put the ball in there. We're going to measure in grams today. Ask adults at home, what do they measure in? Do they measure in grams? Do they measure in ounces? Okay, what do they normally measure in? Because we've all learned different types of measures, imperial and metric measures. Now, if you guys are going to measure in grams today, because I'm going to tell you how to do it in grams, if someone at home measures in ounces, what does that equal in ounces? So if I said 200 grams of flour, which is what we're going to put in, 200 grams of flour in ounces, what does that equal? There's a little bit of maths for you to find out there, a little question for you, find out at home. Hashtag it to us at maths, everyone can at home, send it in. What does 200 grams equal in ounces? I want to find out. Right, so we get that on there, make sure we're in grams, because I just said we're weighing into grams. Make sure it's set to 0, it has got banana in the bowl already, so make sure it is set to 0. What we're going to do, we're going to spoon in some flour. This is self-raising flour for everyone at home. So if you're baking at home, self-raising flour, 200 grams of it. Let's get that in there. $200 grams. I could pour it in. I'm using a spoon just so like now I'm on 185, so I know I can do a smaller spoonful. With it, 197, tiny little bit, 200 grams, perfect. I can put that to one side now. I can then get in some sugar, very small amount of sugar really. We're going to put in about 40 grams of sugar, just for a bit of extra sweetness. So we're going to go 200 add 40. What are we getting there? 200 add 40, 240, nice and simple, nice and straightforward maths. So 240 grams we've got. I could set it back to 0 every time, but I want to test my math skills. I want to add it up, I want to add it on. Okay, so I'll keep building on those math skills all the time. So 240 grams of that. We've got a few other things to put in. We've got some cinnamon, we have got some baking powder, and we've got a little bit of oil that I'm going to put in there. The oil, yeah, it is a fat. We're going to use olive oil, which is slightly better than most butters. And we're going to get that mixed through, and it's just going to give it a lightness to the cake, okay, at the end. So it does help to put that little bit of fat in there, but not as much as normal, and the banana works like the butter would work, so it's going to bring that moisture to the cake. So we've got our flour, we've got our sugar, we can put our carrot in there too, and I'm just going to put a big handful of carrot in there. For you guys at home, depends how big your hands are. What I've just weighed in there, it's gone up to 295. What's 295 take away 240? If you can have a go at doing that one at home, work out the answer for me. 295 take away 240. Okay, so if we forget about the 200 for a second, look at 95 take away 40, 55, 255. Is that right? Not 200, I'll put that back on. I can ignore the 200, can't I? So 95 take away the 40, 55 grams, okay. That's what I've just put into the bowl, 55 grams of flour. Now, let's have a see what else is going on. We put in some cinnamon, we can put in a nice big spoonful, teaspoon of cinnamon. Sprinkle that in there. I'm going to do that in 2 bits for my 2 small halves, there we go. Get in some baking powder. You want 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Okay, you've already got self-raising flour anyway, so it is going to rise up a little bit. That's just going to give it a bit of extra lift. And then all we're going to do is we're going to put in about 3 tablespoons of olive oil into the mixture. 1, 2, 3. If you're a little bit unsure, put a little extra half in there. Okay, and then we've got some eggs too. Okay, and all we need to do, we need to get a fork for the eggs. We're going to give those a mix up, whisk them up. I'm going to then put them into the mix. Okay, so we'll put our fork in there, whisk the eggs up in the jug. If you're having to go at home, join in, pretend you're whisking away there. I'm going to put that to one side now because we don't need it. I'm going to pour this in. I need a spoon, don't I? Okay, I need like a wooden spoon or something for baking. So I'm going to grab my wooden spoon. I'm going to put this in the mix. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take this off the scales now. Take that off the scales. And I'm going to give this a really good mix. And this is where I need to get my muscles on the go here now. Okay, because it does thicken up nice and quickly. So give that a really good mix through. So you can do this one as a family. It's really easy to do. At this point, I would be getting that oven preheated. Okay, maybe you don't need to put it on too early because we don't always work that quick when we're learning. So we can get that oven preheated at this stage now. So that this is all getting nice, ready for the oven. Get the oven preheated for about 180, 170 is pretty good. Slightly lower temperature for a little bit longer. Just makes it cook a bit nicer on the inside of the cake. I think I cooked mine yesterday at about 170, so 170 is pretty good. By 170 I mean degrees Celsius, so 170 Celsius. Again, a little bit more maths there, okay? Sometimes people measure in Fahrenheit. What would be Celsius in Fahrenheit? You can find that out if you want. So we've got that mixed up there, okay, give that a really good mix. And then all we need is a little tray to put this into. Okay, so all I've done, I've put a little bit of butter in there, just very lightly grease the tray. Now, I could do it on an oven tray too. This is quite a thick mixture. Okay, so it would stay together. So if you haven't got a little bread tin or anything like that to put it into, you can do it on an oven tray. We want it to be quite thin, and I'll show you why. Okay, like I showed you before, we don't want the cake to be really thick. We want it to be on the thinner side. And all we're going to do is spoon that in there, spread that evenly. Now this is going to go in the oven for about 20 to 25 minutes, depending on the temperature. If you do go slightly lower, it may take a little bit longer. All you need to do is an adult just needs to check it at the end when they just press the finger on the top. If it bounces back, if it's spongy, then you've got a good cake. Okay, what you can do as well, you can do the knife test where you just put the knife in, does it come out clean? Then that's perfectly cooked. Okay, so get an adult to do that though because it will be hot. So I'm going to move that to one side for a second, spread that round the tin, and that is ready for my oven. Okay, so that's going to go in the oven in a moment. Now, when that goes in the oven, like I said, 20 to 25 minutes, and all we're going to get at this stage now is it's going to come out looking like this. Okay, and that's what it's going to come out looking like. Now, I'm going to show you what we're going to do with those now, okay, because we've got a really interesting idea to today's episode. We wanted to do a little bit of a puzzle cake, so we called it Clue Dough, dough as in cake dough, Clue Dough carrot cake. okay? And a few different ideas for you. So I'm going to show you how to make a Tangram cake in a minute, like a Tangram puzzle. Okay, so that's the puzzle that consists of 7 shapes. And I'll show you what that one is in a moment. Really good mathematical. 7 different shapes, they don't look the same. Or, what you can do, you could make like a jigsaw like this one I've done here, where I've piped on a face, a smiley face or another picture, totally up to you. All you need to make is make some icing sugar, okay, mix it with a little bit of water, put it in like a piping bag, or some, you can use baking paper, wrap that into a piping bag, or you can even use those little sandwich bags and cut the corner off and pipe it through that. They all work really well, it's really easy to do at home. You can pipe on a picture, add some decorations if you want, and then you can make this little, cut it into 9, 3 by 3, that we've got an array there, okay, 3 times 3 is 9, and the pieces go together. Now you can mix them up, you can challenge people to have a go at home, slot them around like that, mix them up, and your picture's slightly lost. Put them back together. Hey, I tell you what, it'd be embarrassing if I can't get this right on the episode here now, wouldn't it? And all you've got to do, as you can see, nice smiley face there that I've drawn on mine. So have a go at that one if you want to. Send us your photos. Hashtag maths, everyone can at home. Otherwise, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to make a Tangram. Now, to do that, I actually turned the cake upside down. What I've done is I've chopped the top off, and I'm going to do that now on this one. So I'm very careful, this is where an out's going to come in handy. Hold the top, nice big knife, and you're going to cut that top off, because the top's so round, makes it hard to cut it up evenly and use. So take the top piece off. You can eat this though. You can take that, you can eat that, you don't have to waste it. So save that, you can eat those little bits. Now we've got that just like that now, so it's a lot flatter on the top, okay, and it's a lot steadier. And I'm going to turn that over, because I'm going to use the other side of the cake. That's where I probably want to pipe my picture on. If I pipe it on the other side, if I put the icing on the other side, it will probably soak into the cake. This is a bit steadier. I'm going to take the edges off, so I'm going to square it off. Again, we're not wasting cake here, this is just going to go nice and easily onto another tray, and I'm going to eat that later with a cup of tea. So I'm not messing about, I'm not losing anything, not wasting any of my beautiful carrot and banana cake. Just be careful when you're chopping, because sometimes it does crumble a little bit. It is cake, and if it is beautifully cooked, it will slightly crumble. So we pull that apart, put that on there. So I'm going to move those bits to the edge, get rid of those out of the way, so you can see a bit better what's going on the screen. So move those out of the way. Then all we've got a nice squared off cake. Now presentation's everything, isn't it? So we've got to look like that. So we've got a nice squared off cake now. Yeah, you can see, nice and square, the edges are cut off. And from that we can have a go at making our Tangram puzzle. So our Tangram puzzle is made up of 7 shapes. So I'm going to cut this one in half, I'm going to cut the cake in half, like that. So now I've cut it into half, I've got 2 equal parts, so I've got 2 halves. I'm going to take this top piece and I'm going to cut that one in half, like that triangle. Just like that. You can have a go at cutting different shapes, but I think in the traditional one you tend to have about 7 different shapes, 5 triangles, 5 of them are triangles. So I've cut that one off, so as you can see, cut off the corner, and I've left like a strip down the middle. That middle piece is the bit I'm now going to cut up to make the different shapes. I'm going to turn that one into a triangle there, keeping that even. So you've got to work out what different shapes we've got. Look at it from a 2D perspective, look at it from the top. We're going to cut that middle one. So like that. It will crumble a little bit. And then the bottom one, cut that one too. Now we've got our 7 different pieces just there like that. Okay, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 triangles, and we've got 1 square. Okay, this one right here, 1 square, And then this one at the bottom, do you know what that one is at home? Let's have a see if you can see a bit better if I hold it up. What shape's that one at home? It's a little bit more tricky. It's a quadrilateral, it's got 4 sides. It's called a parallelogram because the sides are parallel to each other. So the opposite sides are parallel to each other. The lines would never meet. Okay, so we're going to bring that back together into our cake. And we've got a puzzle, and you can move the rails around and make different shapes, so you can have a play around with that one. Now, if you've enjoyed today's episode, fantastic. Okay, I hope you have a go at cooking it. Send us your photos. Let's see what different puzzles you can come up with, which different jigsaw designs. Send them to Maths Everyone Can at Home. That's hashtag Maths Everyone Can at Home. If you like the cooking videos and the recipes, we do some daily recipes on our Classroom Kitchen social media pages, such as our Facebook page, so you can find us at Classroom Kitchen, or on our YouTube channel, you can find us on there. We've got a website too that you can look up. And then if you want some more maths, check out White Rose Maths. Check out what they're doing over on their website. Check them out on the social media pages too. So thank you for today. That hashtag again is Maths Everyone Can at Home. Have a go at this. Send us your photos. We really want to see them. Thank you very much, and we'll see you again soon.